Did Alec Boehm even touch home plate? What is going on with the Major League Baseball Umpires Association? It is absolutely absurd. We got a full slate of baseball coming at you today. I'm very excited about it. Let's talk about it on today's MLB preview. What's going on, everybody? I hope you're enjoying your day. My name's Miller, of course. Hit that like button. It helps me out a ton. Subscribe if you're new. We got a ton of baseball content coming your way. We got a ton of MLB The Show 21 content coming your way. That drops on Friday. I am absolutely stoked. I can't even control myself almost. So make sure you go follow me over at twitch.tv/McMiller42 and, of course, on Twitter and Instagram to make sure you check out all that stuff. Keep updated on what I'm doing, my content, and everything else. As always, we're going over each MLB matchup today. I'm very excited about it. It's going to be a great day of baseball. We've got a full slate, like I said. I believe every team's playing, but I could be wrong. So the first game today, we've got 2:10 Eastern Time. The Boston Red Sox at 6-3. They've won 6 in a row after being swept the first series of the season against the Orioles. They're playing the 5-4 Minnesota Twins. Nelson Cruz, obviously the ageless wonder, looks great. Byron Buxton's an MVP candidate. But the Red Sox are facing soft-tossing left-hander Jay Happ. So we'll see if he's able to do anything in this one. At 6:35 Eastern Time, the San Diego Padres at 7-3. We've seen some film of Tatis swinging, throwing, so hopefully he can come back sooner rather than later. Apparently the recovery is going better than expected, so hopefully he can come back soon. Yu Darvish is on the mound for them. He's looked all right for them in the first 2 starts. He's facing the 3-6 Pittsburgh Pirates with Trevor Cahill on the mound, who looked really bad in his first start. We'll see what they're able to do. Padres, I would imagine, win this one, but like I said, I've been wrong before. The Pirates have won 2 in a row against the Cubs, so good matchup in store. 5-4 are the Seattle Mariners coming in against the 4-5 Baltimore Orioles, who've looked bad of late because they just got swept by the Red Sox, so a little sweep for sweep action going on there. Justice Sheffield on the mound for the Seattle Mariners. We'll see what he's able to do against Dean Kramer, who pitched against the Yankees last time out. I believe this is Dean Kramer's first time facing the Mariners, so we'll see how he's able to pitch against a decent Mariners offense. The Yankees and Blue Jays both come in at 4-5. On the mound for the Yankees is their ace, of course, Garrett Cole. This is his second start of the season against these Blue Jays. Pitched pretty well on opening day against them. We'll see if Teoscar Hernandez is able to burn him again. That hurt my soul as a Yankee fan, of course. Robbie Ray is making his season debut for these Blue Jays. He faces the Yankees, like I said, of course. It's going to be an interesting matchup. Robbie Ray, of course, coming off that elbow injury when he fell down the stairs. A little close to home. If you don't know, I also hurt my elbow coming down the stairs. So it's not a fun time. Good matchup in store. These are the two of the top teams in the AL East, of course, even though they're both coming in at 4-5. 3-6 are the Texas Rangers. They're playing these Tampa Bay Rays, of course. The Rays are also 4-5. So the Red Sox right now are the only team in the American League above 500, which is just really weird and insane to say. That game's going to go on at 7:10 Eastern Time. The Rangers are on the road at the Trop. Feel sorry for them. I hate Tropicana Field, as should you. Dane Dunning pitched really well in his first start as a Texas Ranger. He's coming in 1-0 with a 1.8 ERA against the Rays. My apologies. And then Tyler Glasnow has looked like an ace so far this season. He has a ERA under 1 in his first 2 starts. He's looked really good. He's pitching for the Rays. So we'll see how he's able to pitch again in this one against a bad Texas Rangers offense, of course. The Phillies stole a win from the Atlanta Braves last night, of course. They are 6-3. They've played well this season so far. The New York Mets are 2-3. They cannot win with Jacob deGrom on the mound. That's a whole thing. Chase Anderson on the mound for the Phillies against David Peterson of the New York Mets. He did not look that good in his first start. The Mets definitely need to get back on track after losing that deGrom start the other day. Jacob deGrom has more hits in his starts than any other Mets player. It's just absolutely absurd. So I feel bad for him. At 7:20 Eastern Time, the Miami Marlins at 2-6 after they won against deGrom the other day. Face off against the 4-5 Braves. Sandy Alcantara, potential ace of that staff. He faces off against Gabriel Ynoa of the Atlanta Braves. We'll see what he's able to do in this one. The Braves need to bounce back after yesterday. Of course, they didn't deserve to lose the way that they did, but they do need to bounce back in this one if they want to keep pace in that division, because the Phillies are red hot, of course. The Cubs were my team to watch in my last video. I didn't post a daily preview yesterday. Some stuff came up. I didn't have time. But on Saturday, I said the Cubs were my team to watch because they hadn't played that well, and they were playing the Pirates, so they needed to win. And they've They lost 2 games since I said that. So now they're under 500 at 4-5, and the Brewers are 5-4 above 500. That's who they're playing. Albert Alzolay is on the mound for them against Freddie Peralta, who looked good his first time out. Cubs fans, they're just I consider myself kind of a Cubs fan. They're my National League team. That's where I'm from. They need to start hitting so desperately, like figure it out, or it's going to be a fire sale at the trade deadline for these Cubs. It's upsetting, that's for sure. The 1-5 Washington Nationals, they might be trying to go for that 2019 magic where they started out awful and then pick it up later in the season. That's not the best formula for winning, but it did work once for them, so maybe they're trying to do it again. Eric Fetty's on the mound for them against the St. Louis Cardinals, who look legit. Arenado's starting to hit for them. Goldschmidt hasn't done much, but I'm sure he'll pick it up. John Gant's on the mound for these Cardinals. He pitched well in his first time out. Again, the Nationals definitely need to pick it up. They are just 1-5. They started out the season slow, of course, after the COVID outbreak. They don't have all their players yet, so it's not the end of the world, but they do need to start getting that get back on track for sure. At 8:10 Eastern Time, the Detroit Tigers face off against the Houston Astros. The Tigers are 3-6, and the Astros are 6-3. Casey Mize is on the mound for the Detroit Tigers. His first time out, he was really good. He was my player to watch, and then went on and pitched an absolute gem, which was good for him. Zach Greinke will be on the mound for the Houston Astros. He pitched well so far this season. The Astros come in. They're still doing well this year. They are 6-3. I'd imagine they beat the Tigers in this upcoming series, but baseball is a fickle sport, so maybe not. But I'm excited to watch this one. The Astros, nobody likes you, but you have played well, so congratulations. I did think you were a good team, so I just wish you weren't. I'll be honest with you. The Los Angeles Angels, they game got rained out yesterday, and then of course they lost an absolute blowout the day before that. They are 6-3. That's still a good record. They're facing off against the 4-3 Kansas City Royals. Alex Cobb trying to become the second coming of Dylan Bundy. He's on the mound for the Los Angeles Angels. He looked good last time out against Brady Singer, who did not look good his last time out, but he is a top prospect for a reason. This Angels offense is loaded. Of course, they've got Ohtani, Trout, Rendon, Jared Walsh, all of the above. So they're fantastic. The Angels look to continue to play well and keep on pace with those Astros. At 8:10 Eastern Time, the Cleveland Indians coming in at 5-3 face off against the Chicago White Sox, coming in at 4-5. Of course, the White Sox are some people's favorite to win the division, but the Twins have played well, and the Indians have played pretty well as well. They are coming off facing the Tigers, so I don't know if it really counts. Sorry, Tigers fans. Tristan McKenzie makes his first start of the season today against these White Sox. He's, of course, a big guy for them. He needs to pitch well for them. For them to pitch themselves into the postseason, I think they have the chance to do that. I might be alone in that, but I do think they have the chance to get to the postseason. And then Carlos Rodon, apparently Randy Johnson himself. Of course, he pitched really well in his first start, not Randy Johnson. But he looks to pitch well against the weaker Cleveland Indians offense. So we'll see if he's able to pitch well and get these White Sox back to 500. The Athletics come in at 3-7, so they are getting closer to that magic 500 mark after starting out the year 1-6 or 0-5, whatever it was. They faced off against the 4-6 Arizona Diamondbacks. Chris Bassett bounced back a little bit in his last start. He's on the mound for them, and then Madison Bumgarner. He needs to figure it out. It looks like the end is near for Bumgarner, even though he signed that big contract last year with the Diamondbacks. Has not looked good. He needs to figure out something new. He's gotten absolutely lit up in this one, this season so far. So hopefully he can bounce back. I mean, I'm not a huge Bumgarner fan, but he is good, and it's good for the sport when he's good. So he's looking to bounce back against this Athletics offense. And the Athletics are looking to pounce on a bad Bumgarner. And then the last game of the day at 9:45 Eastern Time, the Cincinnati Reds, the red-hot Cincinnati Reds, of course, they come in at 6-3 against the 6-3 San Francisco Giants. I did not realize, if I'm being honest, that the Giants were 6-3. They've played well so far this year. Wade Miley, who pitched well in his first starts, on the mound for the Reds. And then Aaron Sanchez is on the mound for the Giants. He also pitched well in his first one. Maybe two mediocre pitchers, but they are playing, of course, at Oracle Park, out in San Francisco. So that does help both these teams out pitching-wise. So we'll see what they're able to do. I expect a low-scoring affair in this one, even though the Reds' offense has been so good. Now, my player to watch in this one, I'm picking a guy that's cold that needs to pick it up, not a guy who's just been red hot that you may want to watch him hit another home run today, like Byron Buxton. Byron Buxton's on my fantasy team, so shout out to him. Thank you, Buxton. My guy to watch in this one is Christian Pasha. Has looked really, really bad so far this year. Of course, we know how good he is defensively. He's got all the highlights in the world, but he hasn't done a ton offensively so far this season and in his career. He's hitting almost under 100. Has an OPS in the 400s, I believe, which is just really bad. So he needs to definitely pick it up, and if he could be a big part of this Braves team for them to bounce back and get to that 500 mark against the Marlins today. So maybe he can do something against Sandy Alcantara today. I'm rooting for him. He's a very fun guy to watch defensively. He just needs to be able to hit a little bit for him to be an above-average player. So hopefully he can do that and start out today. My pitcher to watch in this one is Robbie Ray. Of course, like I said, he's making his season debut on the mound for these Toronto Blue Jays. Coming off that elbow injury, like I said, it wasn't like a Tommy John-esque injury or anything like that. He just bruised his elbow from falling down the stairs. But it's very important for him to pitch well for the Blue Jays if they want to have a chance to get to the postseason. Everyone's talked about how this offense for the Blue Jays is fantastic, but the pitching is very suspect and might not be good enough to make a deep postseason run. But if Robbie Ray can show flashes of his old self where he had a really good season just a couple years ago, it's very important for this Blue Jays team. He does need to pitch well. He's facing a good offense in the Yankees, of course. So hopefully he can pitch well for the Blue Jays if you're a Blue Jays fan. And it can be very indicative of their season if he does pitch well. And if he doesn't pitch well and starts out bad this year, it could be a bad sign for things to come in Toronto. So he's my pitcher to watch for sure. He's got all the strikeout stuff, but he gives up home runs at a terrible rate. So we'll see how many home runs he gives up in this one against the Yankees down in Dunedin. My team to watch in this one is the Major League Baseball Umpires Association. Figure it out. Figure it out. In the recent days, they've gotten this slide from Jonathan Davis wrong against Jose Iglesias, where they ruled he was safe. Of course, they ruled this ball a home run. They ruled this ball a double after it clearly bounced over the yellow line and was a home run. And then, of course, Alec Boehm did not touch home plate and should have been called out, but he was called safe and the Phillies won. What is the point of replay? What is get it together, Major League Baseball. It is a terrible look. It is a terrible, terrible look. Figure it out. You're my team to watch in this one, okay? Don't ruin it for the rest of us. Guys, that's going to do it for me in today's MLB preview. I appreciate you guys sticking around watching. Let me know in the comments what matchup you were most excited about. Of course, as always, the podcast, my socials, everything's going to be linked in the description below. Make sure you join my Discord server as well. That's always a good time talking about baseball and other stuff going on. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace out.